I want you to forget everything you think you know about physical chemistry for a second, because most women are walking around with a massive blind spot when it comes to how a man actually processes desire. And what I am about to tell you is the absolute shortcut to his nervous system that most people completely ignore. You see, we talk about the eyes and we talk about the smile and we talk about the way you carry yourself in a dress, but there is a specific biological reset button located right between his jawline and his collarbone that can take a man from being distracted or distant to being completely and utterly consumed by your presence in a matter of seconds. I call it the neck kiss secret, but it is not just about the physical act. It is about the psychological anchoring that happens when you do it the right way. Because let's be honest, most of the time in typical script, where everyone parts of his body are wired for vulnerability, you are not just giving him a trigger in a deep primal recognition that you are the one who knows how to handle his energy. You Think about it from a neurological perspective. The neck is one of the most sensitive parts of the human body because it is where the major arteries are and where the skin is thinnest, which means when you focus your attention there, you are signaling to his lizard brain that he is safe enough to be vulnerable with you while simultaneously lighting up his dopamine receptors like a Christmas tree in London. Most guys are used to the heavy-handed approach or the overly aggressive stuff, but what really gets under a man's skin in the best way possible is the subtlety of the unexpected, and that is where the power of this specific move lies. You are creating a moment of intense proximity that feels almost accidental but is entirely intentional, and it creates this magnetic pull that makes him want to lean into you even more because you have tapped into a sensory experience that he didn't even realize he was craving. It is about the contrast between the soft touch and the heavy intention behind it. And when you master this, you are essentially installing a software update in his brain that associates your scent and your touch with a level of intensity he can't find anywhere else. We spend so much time worrying about what to say or how to text him back or whether we are being too much or too little, but the reality is that attraction is often won or lost in the non-verbal spaces between the words, and the neck is the ultimate canvas for that kind of communication. It is the bridge between the intellectual connection you have over dinner and the physical fireworks you want to have later on. And if you know how to cross that bridge with confidence, you become the woman who stays on his mind long after the lights have gone out. You have to understand that men are often very visual, but their sense of touch and smell is what actually seals the deal in terms of emotional addiction, because those senses are linked directly to the limbic system, which is the part of the brain that handles memory and emotion. So when you use this secret, you are literally tattooing your essence onto his subconscious mind. It is not about being a pro at the bedroom dance. It is about being a master of the moments that lead up to it, because the anticipation is where the real magic happens. And if you can make him feel that spark on the side of his neck while you are just whispering something mundane in his ear, you have already won the game before it has even truly started. This is about taking control of the narrative of your intimacy and showing him that you are a woman who understands the nuances of pleasure and connection in a way that feels sophisticated and effortless rather than desperate or over the top. So as we dive into the actual mechanics of how to pull this off, I want you to shift your mindset away from just trying to please him and toward the idea of claiming his attention in a way that feels high value and completely irresistible, because that is the shift that changes everything in a relationship. Now that you understand why this works from a psychological level, we need to talk about the actual execution, because the difference between a nice moment and a moment that makes him lose his mind is all in the timing and the technique. Most people go straight for the gold, but the real secret to the neck kiss is the build up and the slow burn that happens before your lips even touch his skin. You have to realize that for a man, the anticipation of your touch is often more powerful than the touch itself. So you want to start by invading his personal space in a way that feels natural but slightly provocative. Imagine you are out at a bar or sitting on the sofa or even just standing in the kitchen, and you lean in to tell him a secret or just to adjust his collar, but instead of pulling away, you stay in that zone of proximity for just a second too long. You want him to feel the warmth of your breath on that sensitive patch of skin right below the ear, because that is the warning shot that tells his brain something incredible is about to happen. This is what I call the scent soak, where you allow your perfume and your natural energy to just hang in the air around him for a heartbeat, and you will see his shoulders drop and his breathing change because you have successfully bypassed his logical defenses. Then when you actually go for the kiss, you don't want it to be a big, wet, sloppy mess. You want it to be a series of light grazing touches that feel almost like feathers. Start right at the jawline and move slowly down toward the shoulder. But the key here is to use a combination of your lips and the tip of your nose to create a sensory overload. Use slangs like the soft-petal approach, where you are barely making contact, because that makes him want to pull you closer to get more of it. If you give him everything at once, the mystery is gone. But if you give him just a tiny taste of that intimacy, he will become the one chasing you for the rest of the night. You also want to incorporate a bit of a whisper into the mix, because the vibration of your voice against his neck is like a direct line to his nervous system. Tell him something simple like, "You smell incredible," or "I have been thinking about this all day," but say it in a way that is low and breathy, so he can feel the words as much as he hears them. This creates a multi-sensory anchor where he is smelling you, he is feeling your warmth, he is hearing your voice, and he is experiencing that delicate physical contact all at once. And that is how you create a core memory that sticks. The reason this makes him addicted is because it is a form of intermittent reinforcement, where he doesn't know exactly when the next touch is coming, but he knows it feels amazing when it does. You are training his brain to crave your touch by being the person who knows exactly how to push those buttons without being too obvious about it. And don't be afraid to add a little bit of a playful element to it as well, like a tiny bit of a nibble or a slight graze with your teeth, because that adds a bit of edge to the softness and reminds him that there is a fire beneath the surface. This isn't about being perfect, it is about being present and showing him that you fully dialed into him in that moment, because in a world where everyone is distracted by their phones and their job's giving a man your full sensory attention on his most vulnerable spot is the ultimate high value move. It makes him feel seen, it makes him feel desired, and it makes him feel like you are the only person who truly knows how to unlock his deeper levels of passion. When you do this right, you will literally see the tension leave his body and be replaced by a focused intensity directed solely at you. You are essentially taking the lead in the dance of intimacy and showing him that you are a woman who is comfortable with her own power and her own desire, which is one of the most attractive traits a woman can possess. It shows that you are not just waiting for him to make a move, you are co-creating a moment of magic that is unique to the two of you, and that level of connection is what builds a lasting bond. So don't just think of it as a kiss, think of it as a signature move that defines your brand of intimacy and makes you stand out from every other woman he has ever known, because you are the one who knows the secret language of his body. The final piece of the puzzle, and the thing that really seals the deal on making him addicted, is what you do after the moment has passed, because the way you handle the come down of that intensity is what determines if it was just a nice kiss or if it was a life-changing experience. Most women make the mistake of staying in that zone for too long or trying to force it into something more immediately, but the high-value way to handle this is to pull back just as things are reaching a fever pitch. This is the push-pull dynamic that creates a vacuum of desire where he is left wanting more, and he is the one who has to step up to fill that gap. After you have delivered that perfect neck, kiss, and whispered that little something in his ear, I want you to gently pull back, look him in the eyes for a split second with a bit of a devious smile, and then go back to whatever you were doing like nothing happened. This is the ultimate gotcha, because it shows him that you are in total control of your energy and that you are a woman of mystery who gives him glimpses of paradise, but doesn't just hand over the keys to the kingdom for free. You are creating a loop in his mind where he is replaying that sensation over and over again, wondering when you are going to do it again, and that mental preoccupation is the definition of addiction. You want him sitting at his desk the next day or driving in his car and suddenly smelling your scent or feeling a phantom touch on his neck, because you have successfully anchored that feeling to your identity. This is how you move from being someone he likes to someone he is obsessed with, because you have occupied his subconscious territory. And remember, this isn't just about the physical stuff, it is about the emotional safety that comes with it. Because when you kiss a man on the neck, you are signaling that you are a safe harbor for him to be his true self. Men carry so much tension in their necks and shoulders from the pressure of the world, and when you focus your love and your heat there, you are literally melting away his stress and replacing it with pure pleasure. He will associate being with you with a feeling of total relaxation and total stimulation at the same time, which is a very rare combination to find in a partner. It builds a level of trust that goes beyond words, because it is felt in the body and the body never lies. You also have to make sure you are doing this from a place of genuine connection and not just as a trick, because men can sniff out manipulation a mile away. But if you do it because you truly want to be close to him and you truly appreciate him, it becomes a gift that he will cherish. Use slangs like the fire and ice approach, where you are warm and inviting 1 minute and then cool and collected the next, because that variety keeps the relationship fresh and exciting. You don't want to be a one-trick pony. You want to be a woman of many layers, and this neck kiss secret is just one of the many tools in your kit to build a deep and lasting intimacy. As you go forward, I want you to practice the art of the subtle touch in all areas of your relationship, because it is the small things that build the big things. A hand on his lower back, a graze of his arm as you walk past, or a lingering look across a crowded room, all of these things work together with the neck kiss to create an atmosphere of constant attraction. You are essentially building a world where the two of you are always connected on a frequency that no one else can hear. That is how you stay high value, that is how you stay unforgettable, and that is how you make him addicted to the way you make him feel. It is about being the CEO of your own romantic life and knowing that you have the power to create the kind of passion and connection that most people only dream of. So go out there, use this secret with confidence, and watch as the man in your life starts to look at you with a level of intensity and devotion that you have never seen before, because you have finally learned how to speak the language of his heart through the skin of his neck. This is the path to a deeper, more fulfilling relationship where you are not just a passenger, but the co-pilot of your shared destiny. And it all starts with one tiny, perfectly timed moment of intimacy that changes everything. Focus on the feeling, focus on the connection, and most importantly, focus on the incredible woman you are becoming as you master these arts of attraction, because the more you grow, the more he will want to grow with you. And that is the real secret to a love that lasts a lifetime. Keep showing up as your best self, keep leaning into the vulnerability, and keep using those secret shortcuts to his soul, because you deserve a love that is as intense and beautiful as the effort you put into it. You've got this, and I can't wait to hear about the incredible shifts you see in your relationship when you start putting this into practice. It is time to step into your power and claim the intimacy you desire. Let's talk about the absolute blueprint of what happens inside a man's brain when you decide to take the lead in this specific way, because most people think intimacy is just a reaction to a feeling, but real attraction is actually a proactive creation of a moment that he cannot find anywhere else. You see, when you lean into that space right behind his ear, you are not just being affectionate, you are performing a form of subconscious branding where you are marking your territory in his mind using his own biology as the canvas. Most men are used to the world being loud and demanding and aggressive, but the neck is a place of absolute quiet. And when you go there with a soft touch, you are effectively silencing the rest of the world for him. This is what I call the hush factor, where for 5 seconds, he is no longer thinking about his job or his stress or his gym routine. He is only thinking about the sensation of your skin against his. We have to understand that men have this specific psychological hunger for being truly seen in a way that isn't just about their utility or what they can provide. And when you target such a vulnerable part of his anatomy, it sends a signal that you are the one who has the key to his softer side. It creates this incredible contrast, because you are showing him that you are a high value woman who knows exactly what she wants, while also being the person who can provide the deepest sense of peace. Think of it like this: most women are waiting for the guy to set the tone, but when you use the neck kiss secret, you are the one holding the conductor's baton, and you are telling him exactly how this symphony is going to go. It is a massive power move disguised as a moment of sweetness. You are showing him that you understand the rhythm of desire better than he does. And let's be real for a second, because we need to talk about the scent element, which is the most underrated part of this whole equation. When your face is that close to his neck, you are inhaling his natural musk while he is catching the top notes of your perfume, and that creates a chemical cocktail that acts like a drug in his system. It is literally an addiction waiting to happen, because the next time he smells that specific scent or feels a breeze on his neck, his brain is going to fire off a signal that says, where is she and why isn't she here right now? You are building a psychological anchor that stays active even when you are not in the room. This is how you stay on his mind during an 8-hour workday or when he is out with his friends, because you have planted a seed of sensory memory that is impossible to ignore. It is like you are installing a specialized app in his nervous system that only you have the login for. Now, the reason this works so much better than just a standard kiss is because of the element of surprise and the subversion of his expectations. Most guys expect a certain sequence of events, but when you break that sequence and do something as intimate as a slow grazing kiss on the side of his neck while you are in the middle of a conversation or even just standing in line for a coffee, it creates a glitch in his matrix. He suddenly realizes that you are a woman of depth and spontaneity and that you are not afraid to claim the moment. That kind of confidence is like catnip to a man who is looking for a partner who can match his energy. It shows that you have what I call main character energy, where you are not just reacting to his moves, but you are setting the pace for the entire relationship. And the best part is that it doesn't require you to be anyone other than yourself. It just requires you to be brave enough to step into his space and own it for a heartbeat. I want you to think about the last time a man truly surprised you in a way that made your heart skip a beat. It was probably something subtle and intentional. And that is exactly what you are doing for him. You are becoming the architect of his desire. We spend so much time analyzing text and wondering if we should have said this or that, but one perfectly placed kiss on the neck is worth 1,000 text messages because it bypasses the logical brain and goes straight to the emotional core. It is the ultimate shortcut to making him feel connected to you on a level that words can't reach. It is about creating a feeling of home and a feeling of adventure at the same time. When you are that close, you can hear his heartbeat speed up and you can feel his breath hitch, and that feedback loop is what builds the chemistry to a boiling point. You are teaching him how to respond to you, and you are setting a standard for the kind of intimacy you expect in return. It is a way of saying, I am here, I am present, and I am completely into you without ever having to say a single word. This is the language of the elite in the dating world, the women who seem to have men wrapped around their fingers, not because they are manipulative, but because they are masters of the human heart. They know that a man's addiction to a woman isn't about her looks or her career. It is about how he feels when he is in her presence, and the neck kiss secret is the gold standard for creating that feeling. You are giving him a hit of pure presence, and in a world where everyone is looking at their screens, that is the most valuable currency there is. You are showing him that you are the person who can bring him back to his body and back to the moment. That is a gift he will never want to let go of. So as you think about how to apply this, I want you to look for those small windows of opportunity where you can bridge the gap between being just another person in his life and being the person he can't live without. It is about the linger, it is about the softness, and it is about the absolute certainty that you are the one who knows him best. When you lean in and let your hair brush against his face and your lips find that spot right where the pulse is strongest, you are making a promise to his subconscious that you are a source of endless discovery, and that is the most addictive thing a woman can be. You are becoming his favorite mystery and his favorite comfort all at once. And that is the secret sauce that turns a casual thing into a deep obsession, because he will constantly be looking for that feeling again and again. You are not just a girl. He is seeing you are the woman who makes his world feel more alive. And that is the highest form of attraction there is. Keep leaning into that power and keep exploring the ways you can use your physical presence to tell a story that he will never get tired of hearing, because when you master this, you aren't just winning his heart, you are winning the game of love on your own terms. This is about elevating the entire dynamic and making him realize that being with you is a sensory experience that he simply cannot find anywhere else in the world. It is about the way you pull away and leave him slightly breathless, and the way you look back with that knowing gaze that says, I know exactly what I am doing to you. That level of awareness and intentionality is what separates the women who get what they want from the women who are just hoping things work out. You are taking charge of your romantic destiny, and you are doing it with grace and fire and a touch of mischief. This is how you build a legacy of passion in your relationship that stands the test of time, because you are constantly innovating and finding new ways to touch his soul through his skin. Never underestimate the power of these small moments, because they are the building blocks of a great love story. You are creating a narrative where you are the prize and he is the lucky man who gets to experience the magic you bring to the table every single day. So the next time you are near him and the vibe is right, don't hesitate, just go for it and watch as the walls come down and the addiction begins, because you have finally tapped into the secret frequency that makes a man truly yours for the long haul. It is time to stop playing small and start playing for keeps, using every tool in your arsenal to build the kind of connection that other people only read about in books or see in movies, because you are the director of this show and you know exactly how to make the audience fall in love with you. This is your moment to shine and to show him that the most incredible thing about you is the way you make him feel when you are just inches away from his neck, whispering the secrets of your heart into his ear. That is the true power of the neck kiss, and it is yours to command. I want you to realize that the neck kiss isn't just a destination, it is a door that opens up a completely new level of emotional leverage in your relationship, because when you understand how to use this secret, you are no longer just another person. He is dating. You are the one who holds the blueprint to his most primal responses. You see, most people think that addiction is something that happens by accident or through some stroke of luck, but real addiction is built through a series of intentional, high-value moments that leave a man craving the specific energy that only you can provide. When you master the art of the neck kiss, you are essentially creating a sensory signature that is unique to you. And as we close out this deep dive into the psychology of desire, I want you to understand how to integrate this into the bigger picture of your love life. It is about the contrast between the public version of you and the private version of you, because when you are out in the world and you give him that subtle look, and then later when you are alone, you lean in for that targeted neck kiss, you are creating a narrative of exclusivity that makes him feel like the most important man on the planet. This isn't just about the physical fireworks, although those are incredible. It is about the way you are conditioning his brain to associate your touch with a release of tension and a surge of dopamine. You are becoming his safe space and his greatest thrill all wrapped into one. And the real secret to making this work long term is to never let it become predictable, because the moment he knows exactly when it is coming is the moment the mystery starts to fade. So you have to keep him on his toes by varying your timing and your intensity. Sometimes it is a lingering, breathy whisper, sometimes it is a quick, playful graze, and sometimes it is a deep, slow surrender that makes time stop. But whatever it is, it must always come from a place of your own authentic desire. You are not doing this to perform for him. You are doing it because you are a woman who is in touch with her own power, and you know how to command a room and a heart with the same level of grace. This is how you move from the honeymoon phase into a deep, lasting obsession where he is constantly trying to figure out what you are thinking and what you are going to do next. You are creating a mental loop where he is constantly replaying your interactions because you have given him something so potent and so specific that he can't find a replacement for it anywhere else. Think about the heavy lifting you have done in the past trying to get a man to commit or trying to get him to open up. But when you use the language of the body, you bypass all of those verbal obstacles and go straight to the finish line. It is about the way you use your hands to cradle his face while you focus on that spot near his jawline, or the way you let your scent linger on his skin long after you have moved away. These are the markers of a woman who knows her worth and knows how to communicate it without saying a word. You are teaching him that your intimacy is a premium experience and that being close to you is a privilege that he has to earn through his own investment in the relationship. This is the ultimate flip of the script. Because instead of you wondering if he likes you, he is now the one wondering how he can get back to that feeling you gave him on the sofa or in the kitchen. You have successfully installed yourself as the primary source of his emotional and physical high. And as you go forward, I want you to remember that this is just one tool in your massive toolkit of attraction, but it is a powerful one because it deals with the most fundamental human need for connection and vulnerability. You are showing him that you can handle his fire and that you have a fire of your own that is just waiting to be explored. So don't be afraid to be the one who initiates. Don't be afraid to be the one who takes control of the sensory environment. And most importantly, don't be afraid to be the most unforgettable version of yourself. You have the power to transform your love life by simply changing the way you interact with the person in front of you. And this neck kiss secret is your secret weapon to ensure that he is always looking for you in every room he enters. It is about the confidence, it is about the poise, and it is about the absolute conviction that you are a woman who deserves the kind of passion that people write songs about. When you combine this physical secret with the emotional intelligence we talk about every single day, you become an unstoppable force in the world of dating and relationships. You are building a legacy of love that is based on mutual respect, deep desire, and a connection that goes far beyond the surface level. So take this knowledge, use it wisely, and watch as the world opens up for you in ways you never thought possible, because you are finally playing the game at the highest level. You are not just looking for a guy, you are looking to build an empire of intimacy with a man who recognizes your value and is willing to do whatever it takes to keep you by his side. That is the Hussey way, and that is the path to the love life you have always dreamed of. Now, if you found this deep dive into the neck kiss secret and the psychology of addiction helpful, and you want to continue mastering the art of high-value attraction, then you need to make sure you are part of our inner circle. This is where we break down the nuances of human behavior and give you the actual scripts and strategies to get the results you want in your romantic life. So right now, I want you to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss a single piece of the puzzle, because we are on a mission to help you find and keep the love you deserve. Join the thousands of women who are transforming their lives by taking control of their attraction, and remember that you are just one move away from changing your entire narrative. Hit subscribe, stay tuned for the next masterclass, and let's keep building that incredible love life together, because you are worth it and the right man is out there waiting for a woman exactly like you to show him what real passion looks like. I'll see you in the next one.